Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Collince. This is another time that we have to share our experiences, lessons learned, and be an encouragement to or two mothers out there. And today I'm with a very important guest to me, and I hope you learn something from her by the end of this episode. She is my mother-in-law. Call her my mother-in-law. Call her my second mom. And we're here to share our parenthood journeys or our motherhood journeys, both mine and hers, and we're going to start with her. So welcome to this episode. Welcome and introduce yourself to the people and say hi.
Yeah, my name is Rose Member. I'm happy I'm a mother to Collince Msumba, Shifra Msumba, Jackson Karani, and Jonathan Suvira. I'm happy to share my story with you, and I know you will enjoy maybe. And
They definitely will.
thank you.
Karibu, take us through what was life like expecting your first child, or what was it? What was motherhood to you back then, or how has it been now? Take us through the whole journey, like from when it started. Were you ever pressured to become a mom in the first place?
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, I want to be a mother. And the first place, it was not easy. We got our firstborn. And it took us time to get a secondborn, which it took at a break of around 5 good years before getting the secondborn. And we were very happy when we got our secondborn, who is Mr. Msumba. And then after that, we didn't have a break. As in 2 years' time, we got the thirdborn. But things started going in another direction. In the year 1996, we lost our thirdborn. And it was so painful when she was still in an infant stage. In that careless situation, the hospital, we lost her. But she did not die immediately. We went with her home and we stayed as in like 3 months. And then she left us.
So what would you mean? What do you mean exactly by the careless situation? Because I know there are mothers that have actually lost their babies. You hear that a mother, it was negligence or something like that. What exactly really happened? And also, before you get to that, you talked about the firstborn, then Collince, then the thirdborn. So with the firstborn, for how long did you stay with the firstborn?
Yeah. So the thirdborn, when I was pregnant, when it reached a time when I was supposed to have my baby, I went to the hospital. But the nurses were not there for me. So when I gave birth to my child, she stayed in that water, and the blood, and the cold. Then the nurses, when they came to the rescue, it was too late. The child had
Aspirated, they had swallowed.
Yeah. So she did not breathe well. So she was taken to the nursery. And after that, after 1 day as in, the nurses told me that, Mom, the child is now breathing well and you can go home. And I think they knew, but in future maybe I could do something. So they gave me permission to go home even without telling me to pay anything. I started recalling it later. Yeah. So after going home, after a duration of 1 month, the child started now to have difficulty in breathing. Now we started walking all over, looking for how to help the baby, but it couldn't work out. But the child started to, the from the nose there was some blood, heavy blood that was coming out of the nose.
Clots.
Yeah, the clots, which means she had swallowed those in her birth. Now, after a period of time, went for almost 2 weeks. Now it was normal. She could not survive. She died. That was in 96. In 97, our firstborn, she went to the rural areas. Said, I want to go and know how to speak the mother tongue when they went to visit with the dad home.
So all this while there's Carol, the firstborn, and then there's Collince, and then now the third
Doreen,
born.
yeah.
So they actually met. It's not like there was like one died before the other, or there was a time where you had 3 children at a go, and they were healthy babies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Caroline was around 8 years.
Oh.
Yeah. She was a girl. She was a grown-up girl. So she went home. She was schooling at St. Mary's Primary just here. So she went home and said she wants to go and visit grandma, and she wants to know how to speak in the mother tongue. And she stayed behind when the dad came back. So after a period of 1 week, I saw the uncle coming telling me the child just fell sick. She fell down on the ground and said he's feeling headache, and he did not talk anymore. So when he came to tell us the news, I went home. We got when she was taken to the hospital. She even didn't tell me, Mom, I'm feeling bad this place, or I'm feeling... She could just look but could not talk. And we stayed with her to the hospital around 1 week.
How did that make you feel?
It was so painful. I was it was a scar that was, what can I tell it in English?
Just say it in Kiswahili, we will understand.
A scar ambayo imegwaruzwa tena. As in it was bleeding, yeah. So when we stayed with her, she was trying to recover. On the last day, it was on Thursday, when you talked to her, she could look at you as she was responding by eyes. But the very night that she was responding with her eyes, and when she could tell her, Carol, can you say hi? She could lift up her hands. That's the very day that she did not make it. It was not an easy journey.
So now this is like a period of 1 year. It's
Yeah.
actually 1 year because...
It is 1 year. That was 96, 97.
97.
Yeah. So up to that time, I was a confused woman. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know whom to tell. It was a dark moment. I decided, I left the child in the hospital. I came back to Nakuru to give the news to my husband, and because I know the situation that we were, I was to be brave enough so that I can help my husband how to think about how we can keep our child. We didn't have money by then. So we decided to give the title deed that we had for the shamba that we had just bought so that they can give us the body.
Oh, because of the hospital.
So we took her. We went with her home. We buried her. We were to come back earlier. We didn't have time to mourn because we were thinking of the title deed. It was supposed to be, yeah. So we came back. We started living, and with this one child of ours, taking care of him. And from then...
By like that, how old was Collince? I think 2 years.
Collince was around 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was around 2 years. So it was not easy. Yeah, it was not easy. And it made me to take more care of him than before. Because as in, you see, I was afraid, you know.
Anything can happen because you've lost two.
Yeah.
And how was it with Carol? Because now you say the uncle came to tell you. Did you ever at one point find out what was the cause of all
I didn't
the
know.
short illness?
I didn't know anything about it. The doctor said they were just guessing. They said maybe it can be meningitis. So I just said God knows about it. And
did you ever reach a point where you had self-blame?
yeah, I blamed myself. And I told myself that I'll never leave my child to go far away from me, apart from when he's in school. That's what I said. Yeah, that is what I live like that. Yeah.
Oh, so you take care of Collince. How was the journey taking care of this one child, the precious one child that you now are left with? How did it affect Dad in this whole thing? Where was Dad? How did it affect the relationship that the both of you had? Because I mean, there are situations where you hear a person lost their child, and it's more of the blame always comes to the mothers. Apparently, it is because you were the mother. It's because this. How was there any friction in the relationship that you had? What was his reception to whatever was going on?
No, and to me, I don't think if he could have had any blame because the child went to their place. So as he was sympathizing, I know maybe he was regretting, why did I leave the child to go? But now, I was around 26 years old. Now,
very young and
yeah, I was confused. But all in all, I thank God for him. He was always there for me. At times I could stay as I'm confused and I'm so thinking so much. He could take me even to the stadium, maybe to watch the ball, football team. But when I reached there, I was just in another world. Yeah. Let me tell you that the only thing that comforted me is God. It's only God who can comfort.
Yeah, that is very true. A grieving mom, there's
nothing else. Even the Bible talks about it, that a woman who doesn't have a child, there's nothing that can be put in place. Even if you give her a mansion that is worth 10 million, it is not enough. It is like a dry land that even if you put water,
just not be enough.
yeah. So I was yearning for more babies, and I used even to see, when I hear this can help you, I can go there. When I hear this one here, maybe I had some problems, stomach ache, yeah. So I use a lot of money looking for
ways of getting more children.
But I did not succeed. One day, I went to another mama and she gave me, it was a herbalist. I even went to Kenya Neem Foundation, Makini Herbs. I went to all those people. But at long last, I went to a gynecologist who told me that your tubes are blocked, and now it is impossible, and yet you go for operation, which is 80 to 20%. The 80% is of not getting, and the 20% is of getting, you see? So there's another grandmother who gave me from home, very far, gave me medicine and told me, Mom, go and try this. And when I used that medicine, I got pregnant, the fourth born now. But I was feeling a lot of pain. And when I came back home from the hospital, they told me this pregnancy is as in maybe it did not get well. So you're supposed to have abortion. It was at around 2 months, around 2 to 3 months. But when I came back home, before I came back, the doctor had injected me some injection. And when I came back home and told my husband, saying, no, we cannot do abortion. We leave it, the Lord can do something better than that. And my mom also told me the same. Now I lived waiting for the child, and they used some medicine that the pain that I was hearing.
It faded out.
Yeah. But now the injection had affected the child. So when it reached at 7 months, I was feeling a lot of pain. I didn't.
Also, the pregnancy continued growing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But now it affected the head.
The head of the baby.
Yeah. So I didn't know what I was carrying until when I was 7 months now. I was swollen, my legs were swollen, my body. Then I went to the hospital, and a friend of mine, Dr. Dede, told me, no, you cannot go home. You're supposed to go for the scanning. And when they scanned me, they told me, you're not going back home. Go to the bed so that we can help you remove the baby. The baby was a baby boy. From here downwards, it was just okay. But now the head had spoiled. But at the process, he did not make it. He died. It had been a trauma.
It must have been very traumatic.
Yeah, it had been a trauma in the life. It was not easy.
I can only imagine. How did you get to a point where you now overcome this? Did you get to a point where you say enough is enough after trying for the fourth born, and that turns out, was that like a turning point of finally saying enough is enough, I've tried, God, now it is all up to you, or you give up, or how did it become that you are now content with just having one child?
Yeah.
Biologically.
Biologically, it took long. Even after that, I still could try. But now, after that, now I started having some complications. I was bleeding so much. And this, at the end of it, they discovered that I had some fibroids that grown to be very large. Now, I now focused on how I can get medication. And I told God, if it is well with you,
I am giving it all to you.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
Now, when, of course, now you take care of your son, Collince, my husband, and he grows, goes to school. How was the other side, the flip side of it, having this one child? Did it give you joy? Of course, you mentioned about the two brothers, Jackson and
Jonathan.
How did it now make you feel? Like, was there a sense of completeness that came with you having to take them in? How did it all go up?
I want to say that God has got a destiny for everybody. As in, it is not easy for those women who has got one child. Every time you are insecure, every time you are afraid.
Did you ever get insecure and afraid?
Yeah. Okay. At times, even when he's growing up, he wants to have a bicycle. When he's riding, you're just as in...
thinking of what the worst thing that can happen. Maybe you're there, you listen and know why mom wouldn't allow you to go out there and have fun with others.
And then you think, when he goes outside, he's late, he's not around, you say, where is he?
Where is he?
Yeah, you start...
Insecurity, I know. So you become overprotective.
Yeah.
This is the only hope that you have.
Yeah, but it was just as a human being. But nowadays, as at this age I am, I know that it's only God who can protect, even that one. Because even being scared can help nothing if anything wants to happen. It's only God. Yeah, and now I had a brother-in-law and a wife to the brother-in-law, who are the followers to my husband. The mother passed away when she had 2 children. One was only 1.5 years, and the other one was around 8 years, I think. Now, when she passed away, before she passed away, I used to take care of her. She was sick, and I loved her so much. But we tried our level best, but she could not make it. She died. So I told myself, I will not leave that child to be a street boy. I'll take care of her, of him. So I used to take care of the boy, though the father was still alive. And when the boy was around 5 years, the dad also passed. So I promised that I'm going to take care of them.
And
So,
you've done that very faithfully.
Yeah.
We are very grateful.
So I thank God because I had a child to take care of. I took care of them, took them to school. Now Collince had brothers. Yeah.
It was now more cries in the home. They say.
Yeah.
More cries in the home.
Yeah.
More joy in the home. More messes in the home.
Sure.
All right. Now coming to, of course, you have a journey. I have my journey of motherhood. What was the biggest, the hardest thing for you raising up your son now? What was that one? Was there any point where you had a very challenging situation that you started questioning your role as a mother? Yes.
And it reaches a place when, in an adolescent stage, that's a tough situation. Wow. That's a tough one. Understand there are different types of adolescent experience. But now this young boy, Collince, used to keep quiet. You don't know what he's thinking of. Can keep quiet even the whole week. When you ask him, do you want to eat? No, I don't want to eat. And I ask, what is now?
What have I done?
What is now wrong now? Huh? He can even close the door and just sleep inside. When you call him, he'll do what you have told him to do and go back.
I met a changed version of this comment.
So, what I used to do, I used to read some books and I get, this is adolescent.
This is part of adolescence. So the reading was part of what you did.
Yeah.
It is something that helped you.
Yeah, I used to move with the child step by step. When he's at this age, I used to buy the books of those ages like that until he was an adult.
Yeah.
Now I knew, this is adolescent stage, but we were, I can say, although I loved him very much, but I was also a tough mom to him. I knew that at the community that we lived, it was a community that many children were not in a good direction. So we were to be hard on him to be a better person in future. And we said, as in, if we just be reluctant
and take him like
an egg,
you wouldn't make it.
Yeah.
You did a great job.
You didn't make it.
You did a great job.
I remember there's a time when he was in class 8. That was another tragedy. That time there's a parent who came and told me, wow, Mama Collince, do you give your child money? And I asked him, give him money? Your child is a millionaire in the school.
Oh my goodness. He was a cool kid.
Hey. And then I asked myself, in this Juakali economy. And I just waited for him to come. I asked him, where did you get money? Mom, I didn't have money. Did you take my money? No, I didn't take money, Mommy. Then I told him, understand you're the one who gives people mtura at your own bill. Huh? The children are just lining up. There are some bigger boys in school. He was the youngest among those big boys. So they used him to take money and come and buy for them too.
Okay.
And that day,
You really spanked Ulinyorosha.
that day, it was not a good day for him. And what we did, I believed in not making him feel that I love him very much, even when he's kind with his father, to side with him because it is spoiling him. So I could spank him, but the dad will finish for him. after caning him, he'll come with the legs swollen and the hands, and then when he's being spanked, I just go to the kitchen. I'm feeling
the pain, the labor pain. So.
But I don't want to show up that I'm pitying him because, but I thank God because
you have to be a team.
Yeah,
you are teammates.
Yeah,
wow.
I thank God because he helped us to make him what he is today.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's interesting. Now he's gone from that, he becomes an adult. Then he comes to you and tells you. He comes to you and tells you that, I have found a lady, and I want to get married to this lady, but this lady is not going to be able to give us children, might not be able to give us children. And he comes to you with a do or don't. If you that is the one I have loved, whether you take, if you love me, you have to accept her. So how did that go on you? How did it make you feel, considering all this that went on, your reflection? Did you ever sit down and reflect and ask yourself, what is he trying to do? Because, I mean, you love children, you are very good with children, and he's here telling you, the woman I'm getting might not be able to give us children. How did that sit in?
Yeah, that was another exam. It wasn't an easy one. I remember he told me, Mom, I have a fiancé and I want to marry her. And I was very much excited. I said, wow.
You were happy.
I was very happy. And then he
Had he ever brought a commercial? Had he ever brought any other girl home and said, Fast forward now, of course, the wedding comes. You were very happy and excited. I can remember very well. And of course, before the wedding, I came home. You see me the very first time. And did you at one point ever sit down and pause and say, why? But why wouldn't this lady have a child? Or iliisha tu hivyo venye ulisema tu, it never crossed your mind again, you just accepted?
About the child, it did not cross my mind again. But now, being that this is a girl from diaspora, I told myself maybe this lady, she knew this guy is from a millionaire family. Now let me just ask her some few questions. And I said, in Kiswahili, umejiita mkutano ukaona ya kwamba huyu ndio kijana unataka kuoa. Umeona kwao vile inafanana. Unajua pengine akija shuleni unafikiria pengine anatoka from millionaires. So you go back and think twice. If this is the best person you feel, umeona ya kwamba umekuja mpaka kwao ukamwona, you think this is the right person for you, you are welcome. But if you think the second thought, so About the child, it was not in my mind, but the other part of it, of money, that's what I thought. Maybe ameona mtoto wangu anafikiria ako na pesa, maybe he doesn't have money, and things of that sort.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So did I pass the exam?
You passed the exam because you went and you came back the second time and you told me, Mommy, I've made up my mind. And I remember I told you now, you're going to be our advocate. Yeah.
That is nice. Okay, so now what was life like when, of course, I get married? Of course, I know you must have shared with Dad. What was his take on this?
I did not share. About the child,
Yes.
I just kept it for myself.
For yourself.
Yeah, I did not share. I shared it after.
Afterwards.
It was a secret. Yeah, I did not share.
So how does now the news of me getting pregnant? I remember I later called you after 7 months into marriage, and I remember calling you after we had confirmed that we were pregnant. And I called you na nikakwambia, I think my Swahili then was terrible. Nikakwambia tuko na mtoto.
Anaseni wa nani? I remember very well. Yeah. And you called me, you told me, Mom, tuko na mtoto. And I was not excited. I asked, wa nani? I think Collince corrected you and told you, tell her, niko na mimba. So when you said, Mom, nilikuwa nataka kusema, niko na mimba. I yelled and I was very happy. I told God, thank you. At times I do pray in singing. I was just I was in my own world. I'm telling God, thank you. You can do what doctors cannot do. Yeah, you have even answered the prayer and it is not too late. Thank you, God. And I was happy, I was comforted. It made me to have another dimension of happiness.
Wow.
Yeah.
Finally, when now, of course, now the news has been there. The first pregnancy wasn't really that rough. I remember that. Now the corona time, we are pregnant, locked up. What was your experience seeing me pregnant? Because I know you were very attentive to every move.
I was happy by then, and I promised myself that I want to be a good mother-in-law. I wanted to do what I did not get in marriage. As in, these mothers-in-law have been given bad names. And I told myself that I want to make a difference. So I used to take every step. How are you getting? How are you carrying on? I could even come without your notice. Just want to roam about and see. Yeah.
It was very nice.
And I thank God. I thank God.
We have the best mother in the whole world.
And I thank God. And because even the churches were locked, I said, no, this will be the altar. We shall be coming here every Sabbath.
Yeah. It was a lovely time.
We thank God for everything.
Yeah, now, when we get to the labor process, of course, with Ruvel, the things that didn't work to our liking. What was going on in your mind the time we go to Mercy Mission, then we come from there, then we go to the provincial hospital? How did it all sit in? Did it trigger some memories?
Yeah, it did. It did, and even where we went for help in PGH is where I got a bad handling of my third born. So what I did, I was just having a silent prayer and telling God,
Of course, you know, that time they were not even allowing you and my husband to get in. So I think it must have been stressful for both of you, because for him he had a share of stress, you also had a share of stress. And then at a point my phone was off. How did that treat you?
I can say it was not an easy time by then. I just did praying because I could do nothing. I could not go in. But I just told God, we are asking you to be on our side.
6 a.m. It was 6 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
And you were already in.
Yeah. I was just telling God. And then when we came in, your phone is off. Collince have not communicated with you. I was in now. Where is she? Is she gone to the operation room? I was confused. But I remember that in God's hand, everything is possible.
True.
And I reminded him that it was not possible, as the doctor said, but it was possible by you. And it's now time to make it clear to the world that it is possible. I just told God, please don't disappoint me. Don't shame me. I told him so many things. I even reminded him of how I've worked for him for long.
I know. Prayers of playing.
Yeah.
And now the morning that it was released, here he's born, he's come to the world. I can see you coming
Wow.
in with a lot of... I don't want to wanted to carry the baby the whole time.
I was very happy. It was a miracle. It was a
Being
miracle.
a grandmother for the first time.
It was a miracle. I was very happy. Very, very happy. That happiness that I had the very day when you were in Greater Eastleigh Church, when they said that I pronounce husband and wife, that happiness came back again. And it was now more than that, because I said, wow. Wonders. Thank you, Lord, for giving me a chance to see a grandson.
So, you, of course, Ruel comes in. There's a lot of love. I have never bought clothes for Ruel. It's not my fault that my mother or grandmother is there. Like, I don't, whichever clothes that Ruel wore from childhood, we had our able grandmother providing.
I like that.
Yeah.
And those people who are passing there with clothes, they knew there's a child born in this house.
There's a child, a grandchild.
They could come. Anything, they get better. Just bring. Mama, tumeleta ingine mzuri. And every time they bring, I just see it is a nice one.
It is a nice one. Bring.
Wow, it was nice. It was nice.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Now, of course, Rebel grows with a lot of love from this side. I think we had made it clear that we're not having a child anytime soon. Did you at one moment feel like prompting me of mtoto mwingine anakuja lini? Or did you just say, hiyo ni money? Of course, you've never asked me that, so I don't know what was going on in your mind in the waiting period that now, before we now actually told you that we were pregnant again.
With me, I can say I knew God is going to bring some more children. And, with your generation is not like ours. Life is not the same as back then. So I was there to enter into your shoes. And the time that will be appropriate for you, it will be the best time. But I thank God because it did not go long. So I did not lose my patience.
If it had gone like 5 more years after Ruel, probably the question would have started coming. Now would have you know, how did it? Of course, when we were announcing to you that we were pregnant, I don't remember how it was. How did we do this? This time?
With me, I started doubting you. There's a time you cheated me. You told me that you are pregnant and blah blah blah. So I said,
Rio was still a baby by then. It was a scam. We pranked her. Yeah, we pranked her.
So I was just waiting. Even if you tell me, I'll not be very sure of it because I don't know if it is the truth or you're telling lies. How?
So we breached the trust, guys. We breached the trust. Tulivunja trust on Babu's side.
So, and I thought that when it will be appropriate time for you to bring another child, we are happy, we were happy.
So I don't remember how did we break the news of this pregnancy now, the one that comes with the twins? I called her?
I think so.
I think it was a call. I can't remember. How come I don't remember that aspect? But I think I call you and tell you, Mom, I'm pregnant again. What went through your mind?
This time when you were pregnant, you were sickling.
Yeah, I was I think it started off on... Okay, I think by the time I was calling you, I was telling you it is threatening. Yeah, because I think it was immediately after I had gotten pregnant. I had tested pregnant that I started bleeding. So I call you and tell you, Mom, I'm pregnant, but it is threatening to come out. How did that make you feel?
It was sad. It was making us sad, especially me. But now we were just to put you on prayers. Remember, we had 10 days of prayers and we used to pray. And at our church, we do that rotation. You pray with 2 people, you pray with 3 people. You can pray in a circle. And at times you put some prayer requests. That was the request that I did to God. I told God, please, let us see another grandchild again. So we just kept on praying and praying. And it is my routine when I start praying. I pray from the firstborn to the lastborn, calling them by name, and with everyone with his or her own problem. So I used to tell God, and I thank God He answered our prayer.
That is very true. Before actually getting pregnant, I know there's a time where we were speaking and we used to say, I used to say, me, I want twins. My husband would be like, me, I don't want twins. And then you're like, I know God will give us those twins. We want to prepare our twins. And this time, of course, I get pregnant. Did you at one point get suspicious that I had twins before we actually told you?
I was not suspicious, but what I knew in my life, that my son will get twins.
You knew it?
Yeah, because in the lineage, it's only us that we did not have twins. The other brothers-in-law, they had twins. So, and we said, now because we did not get, our children will
Baraka
get.
ikaingia hapa. Na mwenyewe alikuwa anasema mimi siko kwa hiyo maombi.
But we thank God because He's a wonderful God. And handling twins, more especially in the birth period, it is risky. And I said, now what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, of course, now when we come to tell you about the twins on our 5th anniversary, 5th wedding anniversary, did you actually suspect that is what we were going to tell you?
No, I did not suspect. But it was a good news to me. A very good news.
Yeah, happy.
Yeah, we are very happy.
You insisted you need to have help at the beginning of the pregnancy. You need to have help. You need to have help. You need to have help.
Yeah.
And I think it was something that you helped me realize that I really needed, because if I didn't get the help, probably things wouldn't have worked out. Of course,
Sure.
God had an upper hand in how it all turned out. There is a reason as to why He preserved that pregnancy, but I think He also played a big role in making me realize that I need to see it. If the doctor has said to Leah,
It is true.
and I really appreciate you for that, for making an effort to make sure that I have help. That was very kind of you.
Thank you.
Now the twins journey comes, and we are at the hospital. This time nikanyinyi wote mlikuwa mmesema hata wakisema aje
Hatutoki.
hatutoki hapa.
We are here to stay.
Hata wakisema aje hatutoki hapa. What is going on in your mind?
You know, we were like with me. I thought that when I was around there, things would I just got talking to myself.
Nikiwa hapa
Maneno itakuwa sawa. Nikitoka nje maneno si sawa. So even I told those scaries, please let me just sit near here. Don't throw me away in the cold. And they gave me a chair to stay. Then I told them, let me just move
closer.
Yeah, and I remember when we were inside there, we could go upstairs, downstairs, just to make the children to move down. Thank God, it didn't take long.
Was I dramatic? People want to know, was I dramatic? Was I dramatic in the neighborhood?
You know, there is nobody who has a PhD in labor pain.
Yes,
Even the nurses themselves.
I'm a midwife.
They beat those women. They told them, sit properly, stop crying. But when it reached at that time, you know that there is no professor in labor pain.
Yeah.
But I thank God because you did not do so much drama.
It wasn't dramatic.
Yeah.
I wasn't dramatic. I think the best I did was
And you still had a lot of energy. You could even, what do we say? Squat. Hey, I said, this lady is very tough. He's squatting with 2 babies. It's not a joke.
Wait. Alright. So finally at around I think 6, that is when I go in to labor. What was it now for you? Because now of course I went in saying I'm going to be checked upon, to check whether they had called me to be checked upon. And then I don't know whether I told you guys that I've been taken in for labor. Did I call?
No.
I think I did. Did I call you, honey? Maybe I called you. So this time I go in, going to be checked upon, and I stay there. What happens?
It was a time for prayers, because that's the place where you can come out happy or unhappy. So we were there as in everybody was just in his own world. Kila mtu ako tu zake. You're talking to your God and telling God, please do it. Make us come here. Come out here when we are happy. Don't disappoint us. So it was we did take after 1 hour to get another baby. We did how long? But even when they were chasing us out, I think they were tired.
They got tired of chasing.
Because they saw these people were telling, even nobody was talking. They were telling you move, you move there, you stand there. move here, stand there. You people, I'm telling you to go out. I'm telling them, please, just a minute, I'm going out. I've not refused, I'm going out.
The tension was too bad.
Yeah. But it didn't take long. And Collince told me, oh, Mom, wazungu ndio wamekuja. And I was very happy. I was very, very happy. Yeah.
How does it make you feel becoming a grandmother to the 3 children now?
I'm happy. And that's why even right now, if you look at me, my gray hair, I am not polishing it anymore because I'm a grandmother.
It's still beautiful.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy.
That
I
is
am
very nice.
happy.
What is that one thing or 2 things or 3 things that you'd tell a grandmother to be, or a grandmother in expectation, or any mother for that matter, that is out there listening, maybe praying for a child, maybe they have had a number of losses, from a person that has had an encounter of both, a place where you had losses, a place where now you got the joy, and a place where you're now enjoying the fruits of, your labor. What is that one thing or 3 things that you would tell them, as we wrap it up?
Thank you. Dear mothers out there, I want to tell you that believe and trust in God. There's nothing that is difficult when you put it in the hand of God. It's the only God who can change the history. It's the only God who can change your name. And it's the God who changed the name of Sarah. Sarah had only 1 child, but she was called the mother of the nations. So, believe. Raise up your child in the way he should go, knowing God. And because of that trust in God, God is going to open up the doors that Satan had closed. And you'll be happy again. Yeah.
For those ones trying to conceive, what would you let them know?
For those ones who are trying to conceive, I know it's a battle. It is not easy. And to those who have not experienced, they cannot know what you are going through. Stick to the Lord. If it is God's choice that you are going to have a baby, children, He's going to give you. Be patient in Him. In His own due time, He will give you one of your own. And to those who has tried and tried and tried, the Bible says that happy are those women who have not got children, because they will be called mothers in heaven. But even right now, there are so many children in orphanages, in children's home. I'm appealing to you. Make a way, adapt one when you are still waiting for the Lord. Now I don't have 1 child. I have so many children. I have 1 biological, but so many. And I'm happy. And blessing other children whom you did not even carry 9 months, making them to be happy will make you to be happy too. They will catch up your hand at the time when you need the 3rd hand. When you'll be needing a stick to be the 3rd leg, they will be there to help you. So don't just sit there, do something. God will bless you.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Yes.
You want to give her accolades?
Yes. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here with us. As we wrap it up, Mom, this is the time that I get to put all my hats off for you. You have been the best mom in the whole world for us.
Thank you.
I don't imagine a world where I don't have you around, looking at myself as a mother right now. when you've not yet started the journey of parenting, you do not know how much of your mother you need. Yeah, how much of a mother figure you need until you've actually gotten children. I have learned so much from you. I've learned that it is doable. Being a mother is doable, and having to walk a day at a time is all you need in this parenting journey. Just because of you, you've held my hand, you've been there when I am laboring, you've washed you've washed the dirtiest parts of me, you've washed all the tears and stress away. Seeing you there was a lot of comfort for me, because I mean, my biological mother wasn't there, but I had you all the way, all through the time. And there's nothing that brought peace to my mind, knowing that I have the best support in the whole world. If there are gems in the world in person form, I think you're the biggest gem that there is, and you're the most caring mother in love that I have.
you.
And I can't thank God enough that He has made our paths cross and meet. And I only pray that God gives us life, because with life we can do a lot.
Thank you.